So guys, we've got a busy slate of videos coming at you this week as part of our 12 games to save VR series. And today, this one's for the nerds.
Indubitably.
With the highly anticipated spin-off of the beloved tabletop title Demeo, with Demeo Battles serving as the franchise's first crack at PvP action. And today we'll be taking a close look at Resolution Games' newest release to see how it stacks up. But first, welcome to the simulation inside the simulation. I am Tooodamngolden, your VR Voyager, and prepare to follow me into the world of Demeo Battles. So much like its highly lauded predecessor, Demeo Battles is a turn-based virtual tabletop experience very much inspired by the likes of Dungeons & Dragons, where players will attempt to defeat the opposing team's two heroes while avoiding a variety of environmental hindrances, enemy minions, and of course the opposing heroes themselves. So much like Demeo, this game features very high quality graphics, whether it's the board itself with the newly arranged built for Demeo Battles map, the detail of the various figurines that players will move around the board, the Yu-Gi-Oh!-esque card holder as you fan out your wrist, or even just the college library environment provided as a backdrop to this game's action. The visuals in this one are very nicely put together and highlighted by a rich, vibrant color palette. Now, while this title does share several similarities to Demeo, there are a few differences with this one, as each game of Demeo Battles opens up with players popping into the in-game store equipped with 1500 in currency and the ability to purchase a mixture of both ability cards that do things such as remove poison effects, kill all friendly champions, or spawn an impassable barricade, and of course a wide range of CPU controlled friendly monsters like rats, giant spiders, or elementals that will assist the user controlled heroes in their quest to vanquish the enemy team. And honestly, I must say that the folks over at Resolution Games have done a nice job of making this section of the match feel very nice and balanced, and it definitely presents a litany of options for gamers to strategy-wise as they prepare for battle. And while on the topic of battles, this one does follow the same general concept as Demeo, with players gaining a card to their hand every turn, moving their characters into a more favorable positions, and of course rolling that patented 3-option die, with the single sword of course being a hit, dueling swords being a critical hit, and that infamous skull representing an outright missed attack. This 3-option die is the catalyst for all the PvP action, as whether you're using a basic attack or tapping one of your cards for a special attack, you will be rolling this die in this turn-based combat adventure to send your opponents to the abyss. Now, the star of attraction of this game is of course the PvP multiplayer, where teams of two will work in coordination and strategically combine forces and work in tandem towards victory in either a quick play or casual match. But for those of you who don't know many people in VR, or just simply don't like engaging with randoms, or like myself, don't have any friends, you do have the option of toggling a solo option before the matchmaking begins, which will then put the onus of controlling both heroes onto yourself. Solo players out there also have the option to dive into the game's single player missions, where there are a bunch of encounters which are a nice addition, but definitely lacking when in comparison to the true PvP experience. Once again, while there are some similarities between Demeo and Demeo Battles does a very solid job of differentiating itself by utilizing all the core components of Demeo and tucking them into a very streamlined and much faster paced experience, with mechanics such as the burn, which essentially is similar to the storm in Fortnite or any other battle royale for that matter, making the playing space smaller and smaller over time until players are forced into head-to-head action, which always keeps the game moving forward and provides a sense of urgency and importance to every single turn, guys, as games honestly only tend to run about 15 minutes as well, which allows for a greater level of accessibility to newer players, as of course with Demeo, the big problem, at least in my opinion, while absolutely amazing, right?
Goddamn right.
There was no way to pause mid-campaign, which usually runs for about 30 to 40 minutes a pop. So you throw in gamers with kids in the mix, or those just looking to kill some time before work and school, and honestly, you suddenly have a situation where gamers who wanted to play the game probably couldn't just due to time constraints.
No.
Now, for all the good that Demeo Battles presents, I do have to point out a few curious decisions that admittedly left me scratching my head. Firstly, the user interface on the main menu is very barren, with things that I feel like should be prominently featured, like viewing your unlocked characters, being tucked away in a not so obvious location, and the ability to view stats on the minions or cards themselves are honestly completely non-existent outside of the actual matches themselves, which is a shame because for a title predicated on strategic gameplay, it kind of cuts the high-level strategy out of things completely. Now, of course you can look things up like this online, but why not just have a dedicated in-game tab to this, pretty much like every other game of this nature? The progression system honestly is a bit wonky as well at the moment, as gamers will need to earn XP to earn keys to unlock new heroes, skins, etc., which all sounds pretty standard for fans of the, MOBA genre or games with battle passes and things like that. But unlike most of those games, Demeo Battles doesn't allow for the option of selecting which new hero you actually want to unlock. Instead, the game guides you along a predetermined path, and while it's nice that there are no microtransactions to be found within this game, the lack of freedom of choice puts players into a position where they either have to sink a bunch of time into the game with multiple champions that they may not care for in order to hopefully get to one of the heroes that they actually do want, or simply not play the game at all. But now on to the most important part of this video. How fun is this game? And critics of this game will ultimately see the $20 price tag, the bad user interface, and lack of cross progression in terms of unlocks led between battles and the OG Demeo as deal breakers that may have left a few individuals out there jaded, as battles of course was once set to be an expansion to the original Demeo. But guys, let's be real. Demeo Battles is a very good game that could easily stand with, if not surpass Demeo in terms of quality, and the more streamlined games, addition of PvP combat, and of course the balance feel between combatants makes this title shine in its own right, and it shows the potential that the Demeo franchise has within the VR space of becoming one of those marquee series. Think Halo for Xbox, right? And throw in the crossplay elements between platforms and the inevitable updates coming to this already fire title, and Demeo Battles is a solid 8.4 out of 10 in my opinion. But all you beautiful people can be a perfect 10 out of 10 in my books by just clicking like and subscribe. It really does mean the world to me. This has been game 2 of our 12 games to save VR series. Thank you so much for watching.